next topic is friction is sometimes useful. See, friction is a necessary evil. That means the friction is very useful for us. And at the same time, the friction is desirable and undesirable. Desirable means the friction has advantages. Undesirable means the friction has disadvantages. So friction is sometimes very useful for us. At the same time, sometimes it has some disadvantages. So let us discuss about the advantages and disadvantages caused by the friction. So first one is friction is sometimes useful. That means uses of friction. See, friction is useful for many of our daily activities. The first one is friction between the feet and the ground helps us to walk on the ground. Suppose if we are walking on the ground, the force, first of all, the force is exerted by our feet. Okay, the force exerted by our feet on the ground. So at that time, the ground also exerts an opposing force. The ground also exerts force on our feet. That means it helps us to move forward. The ground helps us to move forward. Suppose if we are walking, first of all, our feet exerts force on the ground. At the same time, the ground exerts, that means the ground opposes a force, that is force of friction on our feet. So the ground helps us to move forward. Okay. And next one, it is possible to write with a pen or pencil on a paper due to friction between the pen or pencil and the paper. Suppose if we are writing by using the pen or pencil on the paper, there is a must and should the friction is present between the pen or pencil and the surface of the paper. If there is no friction, it is not possible to write. It is not possible to write. And the next one is, it is possible to write on a blackboard due to the friction between the chalk and the blackboard. Suppose if I am writing on the blackboard, the blackboard has surface, no? The blackboard rough surface, that means it rubs off some chalk powder, chalk particles. So because of that reason, I am able to write. That means I can move forward. I am able to write to continue. Okay, so here what is happening? There is a friction present between the surface of the board and the chalk piece. Suppose if I am writing, the rough surface of the board, it rubs off some dust particle. So because of that force of friction, the chalk move forward. I can write very easily. Okay, so it is possible to write on a blackboard due to the friction present between the chalk and the blackboard. And next one, friction between the tires and the road helps automobiles to move on roads. See, every day we will see so many vehicles, trucks, buses, cars, whatever it may be, bikes, they move on the road. So here there is a friction present between the tires of the vehicles and the road. If the proper perfect friction is present between the tires of the vehicles and the road, then only the vehicles move forward. Suppose if there is no friction, the vehicles won't move forward. Suppose sometimes if it is raining, okay, sometimes the vehicles slip. That means the tires won't move properly. Why? Because there is no proper friction. So to move the vehicles on the road, there is a friction present between the tires of the vehicles and the road. Okay. And the last one is friction between the bricks helps in construction of building. Suppose if there is no friction, we can't build any building. That means we cannot construct any buildings. So friction is very useful in our daily activities. So these are the some of the uses of friction in our daily life. And the next one is friction is sometimes undesirable. Just now I told undesirable means disadvantages. So let us discuss one by one. First of all, soles of shoes wear out due to friction. See, when we observe the shoes, bottom side, that means sole of shoes wear. Suppose if we are using our shoes continuously, after some days, the sole of the shoes wear out. Wear out means here nothing but they spoil or otherwise they damage. Continuously if we are using, there is a friction between the ground and the shoes. After some days, the sole of the shoes wear because due to friction. And next one, tires of bicycle and automobiles wear out due to friction. Even tires also, tires of bicycles or otherwise vehicles also, they wear out. After some days, surely they wear out because of friction. And next one, steps of staircases and foot over bridges in railway stations wear out due to friction. See, this is also one of the example. And one more thing, knives and razors lose their sharp edges due to friction. Suppose if we use automobiles or otherwise any sharp knives or razors, after some days because of friction they loses their sharpness. So from this what do you understand? Friction is very useful after some day. That means if we are using any machines continuously, automatically their machinery parts wear and tear. That means they damages. So in that place we can use another new parts. So in that way we can reduce. So here the friction also had undesirable. Okay, that means it has some disadvantages. Why? Because it wear and it can tear the machinery parts. That means automobiles or otherwise soles of shoes can wear, and tires of bicycles and automobiles wear, and then steps of staircases and over bridges in railway stations, and the knives also they can reduce. That means they lose their sharpness because of all these are because of friction. So friction is a necessary evil. That means friction has some advantages and friction has some disadvantages.